Did it have internet? I don't.
At the time, internet, yeah.
Yeah.
We had emails also.
So-
I'm not a caveman.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the second episode of Digital Divide. My name is Grace, and I'm joined by Professor Kim of the GW Institute for Korean Studies. Hello. So, how's your winter break going?
It's very peaceful now.
Okay.
Easy going.
Are you watching any new shows? My roommate and I actually just started a new K-drama called True Beauty. It came out a while ago, but it was recently put on Netflix. So we've been watching that.
I'm interested in a little bit different, style of K-drama.
Mm-hmm. You don't really like K-dramas about makeup?
Not really. But it's what I'm watching now is Typhoon Family.
Okay.
태풍 상사. It's about a young businessman who got inherited his dad's company right after the so-called IMF financial crisis in late 1990s.
So why does that interest you?
I mean, at the time I was young, obviously, and also it was when I first, got my cell phones. And in the K-drama, the Typhoon Family, people are starting to get their own cell phones, like brick style, but not smartphones yet. But you also have beepers, people lining up in front of telephone, public phone.
So what was your first cell phone?
Brick phone.
Brick phone? Okay.
But it was good enough.
Did it have internet? I don't.
At the time, internet, yeah.
Yeah.
We had emails also.
So-
I'm not a caveman.
Okay.
Yeah, believe it or not, at the time, before I got the cell phone, we shared one landline phone number with my family members. Whenever I got back home, my first question to my mom was there any call for me while I was gone? And my mom was so upset about it. Is that, the only question you want to ask me?
So like it gave you this sense of like total freedom, because I remember I had that when I got my first phone. Like I was in the 6th grade, and I only really got it because I was going into middle school. I was being dropped off and like 2 hours before my parents would get home from work, so I was essentially by myself for those 2 hours and was entrusted with this device that could allow me to speak with like millions of people around the world. So
Right. It was total freedom.
So do North Koreans have this sense of total freedom?
They did, but it was a little bit late, almost 10 years later than the South Koreans enjoyed this total freedom. They felt the same way, when they first, experienced this mobile technology. So they got, crazy about this new technology. They were not able to buy this expensive phones. They just tried to figure out how to do that. So they sold their valuable assets
Okay, that's very
to get
extreme.
one cell phone.
Yeah.
Once they got enough money, that's one of the first things they want to buy.
I mean, it's very expensive. So were they mainly used for like work, utility, or like functionality, or were they also used for entertainment and pleasure, just like talking to friends, family members, that type of stuff?
Basically, making calls to their friends, family members. I mean, they already paid a lot of money to get their handsets, and the calling time is very limited. They got 200. They still get 200 minutes per month, but 200 minutes you can easily use them up, and after that the race just spikes and like more than 10 times, 20
How
times.
much is that base rate?
So base rate to get 200 minutes per month, you pay like 3,000 won per quarter, and 3,000 won at the black market exchange rate is just less than 50 cents.
That's really cheap. Did they have higher rates for people who called outside of their towns or a longer distance away from them?
Not that I know of. I mean, it's kind of flat fee plan. I remember when I came to the United States back in 1998, we were asked to decide which long distance service provider we were going to use. But in North Korea, as far as there's mobile telecommunication service is concerned, there's no difference between local and long distance call.
That's interesting. And like speaking of Kakao Talk and stuff, like
Mhm.
I know now they have chat rooms, which a lot of people can join. In the past, it was just like a lot of Koreans use them. Now with like the rise of K-pop, K-drama, K-culture, a lot of Americans are using them, or English speakers are using them to like make chat rooms of K-pop
We
stars.
used that Kakao Talk chat room when we went to Korea for study abroad program last summer.
Yeah, we
right?
did. Yeah, like does North Korea have something similar? Like, do they have chat rooms? Do they have forums where people can
Not that I know
speak
of.
to one another? No.
No.
So then, like, how do they communicate with like each other in large groups? Is that even possible?
Making voice calls and text messages.
Is there like a reason why they can't like
Because
communicate?
like
Anything
Kakao
else?
Talk chat rooms, that kind of service is the last thing the North Korean government want to provide, because they don't like freedom of assembly and association.
It's not
That-
protected in their constitution.
Yeah, I don't think it matters even if it is inscribed in their constitution. Again, freedom of assembly and association is not protected in North Korea. At least the security service people, they don't want to see that kind of service provided to the people.
Have there been instances in the past where like people have used chats to come together in large masses?
So it was before the 3G mobile telecom service was introduced. At the time, there was people who used like an intranet bulletin board, Nenara. People just talked about how to celebrate the 10th anniversary of this Nenara service. One person suggested, why don't we just get together in front of the Pyongyang indoor stadium? And they ended up with having more than 300 people.
That's crazy.
And that set off alarm for the security people.
Do we know what happened to the organizers of that event? Like, did they face any punishment or repercussions for doing that, or just a slap on the wrist?
Not that I know of, but obviously the security service people, they just shut off the service, Nanara service.
Oh.
And after that, there was no bulletin board, service available to normal people.
So I guess like it sort of sounds like it's not really just like a North Korean issue. It's sort of an issue a lot of authoritarian governments around the world. Like I'm like thinking of just like during the Arab Spring, just a lot of people would use social media just to coordinate all these large demonstrations. And I remember in my comparative politics of the Middle Eastern class, we learned that a lot of the arrests or executions that were happening were of young people, just because they were the people using social media and the internet to find such events. So like, it doesn't seem like just a North Korean issue.
Even before Arab Spring, we had a people's power movement in the Philippines in late 1990s and again in early 2000s.
Oh, that's like a lot later. Yeah, I mean earlier.
Yeah, and it was a huge turning point for the democracy of the Philippines. And at the time, people, they used this, telecommunication technology and devices.
Can we expect something similar happening in North Korea, like maybe a Korean Spring? Or like, even if it does happen, will we even hear about it just because North Korea is very protective about the information that escapes their own country?
I mean, when people learned about Arab Spring, and also learned that North Korea introduced this 3G mobile telecom, they were very excited, especially those in the field of human rights. But North Korea Spring, I don't think that's feasible, because it's police state and they have been very good at controlling and monitoring people, and they have been investing in the related technology for decades. So Korea Spring, it didn't happen in North Korea.
But if they're so concerned about cell phones and smartphones and the negative impact they might have on their regime, why even have them in the first place?
So it was not the security people or military people who were eager or super excited about introducing this mobile technology. It was the top leader like Kim Jong-il, who decided to utilize this new technology for their national economic development.
I'm taking an intelligence class right now, and one of the things we learned is that the role of the intelligence and security services is essentially to get the information, analyze it, and just communicate their thoughts to the leadership. And it's pretty much up to the leadership whether or not they want to take the opinions of these, officials or
especially in a country like North Korea.
Yeah.
Just because you're a security official, you don't want to resist your top leader. You don't want to criticize your top leader, right? That means you're risking your life. They are continuously looking for any chance to push for their agenda. So, for example, back in 2004, there was a huge explosion in the Yongcheon railway station. The station was very close to their border with China, Sinuiju. At the time, the security service people's conclusion was somebody tried to assassinate Kim Jong-un because Kim Jong-un was lucky enough to pass his train past the station before or after the explosion.
That's very Franz Ferdinand of him.
Right. But anyway, it was suspected that somebody tried to kill him by using a remote control device, probably something related to cell phones. So the Secret Service people, they said, we have to stop this service. So that's why the government decided to ban any cell phone service and even confiscated handsets.
That seems really inconvenient though, and a bit of a hassle for the government to do that any time something major like this happens. Is that a common occurrence for the government to confiscate cell phones in those instances?
In that massive scale, maybe there was just rare, events. But in the daily lives, people, they just get caught by their police or even secret policemen in the streets. And if something was discovered on their cell phone, like a K-drama or any text message using Korean words, oppa, the policeman can just confiscate your handset.
So for clarification, for the leadership in Kim Jong-un and them, it's basically symbolic. They're not really worried about well, I guess they are a little bit worried about the security issues in my post, but they're more focused on how it makes the regime look.
It's not just symbolic movement, but I think Kim Jong-il, he was very serious about utilizing this new technology, information technology.
How so?
For their national development. So they use this word 단번도약, so leapfrogging, like a frog, making a huge jump. So they are very underdeveloped country in terms of technology, economy. But if you use this new technology, information technology, you may have chance to leapfrog your country, your economy. So that's why Kim Jong-il and also Kim Jong-un after him, they decided to keep developing and using this technology and not really bothered by the potential danger they might face.
Yeah, didn't Stalin try to do that in the USSR and millions of people died due to starvation? That doesn't seem very...
During the 1990s, North Korea, they actually had a big starvation, big famine, great famine. They call it arduous march, but it's just embellishing, the sufferings the people had to go through. Thousands of people or even millions of people, depending on who you're talking to, starved to death. But even during that time period, Kim Jong-il decided to make huge investment in building a nationwide fiber optic network.
Because, having cell phones is more important than saving the lives of your own countrymen.
Yeah, it sounds really weird, but that's what happened in North Korea. I mean, because they don't have any democratic elections.
They don't fear the next election.
Right.
So I guess, there's obviously the symbolic political reasons, but were there also practical reasons as to why the leadership would want to have cell phones?
They introduced this 3G technology in late 2008,
Mm-hmm.
and it was before the year 2012.
Why's that important?
It's really important because it was 100th anniversary of Kim Il-sung's birth.
Mm.
Kim Il-sung's birth year was 1912.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why in the first years, all the 3G mobile phones numbers started with 1912.
Oh, interesting.
And they wanted to, I mean, they had this national slogan of 강성대국,
Mm-hmm.
strong and prosperous nation,
Mm.
to be achieved, or at least started to be achieved by year 2012.
And it's still 20, like the beginning four numbers are still 2012 to this day. Do we know, or did they sort
added
of...
some other numbers, but that's the most popular number.
That's really interesting. I guess like my sort of question is how do you like do these regimes and security systems really monitor like what the people are saying or track what they're saying? Because I feel like it's a lot of people who have cell phones now.
Right. Millions of people.
Millions of people. How can they possibly track all of this information that's coming out?
Maybe not in real time. I mean, as far as voice calls are concerned, but text messages, I was told, is very technologically easy to monitor. So they have control centers in each district, and in the center you have a huge screen on the wall, and all the text messages people are sending are popping up and displayed on this screen. So it is monitored real time. But voice calls, at the beginning, technologically feasible, but nowadays maybe not. But they do have a system where you can record and store all the the voice call related information, and even transcript.
Oh.
And that transcript is supposed to be stored and kept for up to 3 years.
Okay, so in the past, would they have like listened in, like they would have someone listen into all the conversations?
When just a few people using cell phones, but when they reached more than a million people using cell phones, they might have turned to a little bit more practical ways to monitor people. So not monitoring all the people in real time, but just targeting blacklisted group of people, like detecting any code words or politically dangerous words like Kim Jong-il, Kim Jong-un, Trump, nuclear weapons. If somebody say that words, then it will be automatically detected on their system.
So I'm curious, if that's the case, you can possibly get flagged for using a keyword. Has there been a code language or secret language that has developed out of this necessity to avoid using those words?
Yeah, I think that's what's going on in North Korea, especially the 장마당 traders. For example, if you are trading unauthorized stuff like CDs or DVDs loaded with K-drama, K-pops, it's really dangerous business. So you don't want to call your business partner and say, hey, I have DVDs.
I wouldn't really say anything at this point. I would just talk about the weather. This feels like a lot of self-censorship on the part of the people. Like, do North Koreans feel that way as well? Like, do they feel sort of restricted in the stuff that they can and cannot say?
That's kind of decades-old practice, I think, because they watched people get caught.
Yeah.
Even if it's not technologically feasible, people just assume it's feasible, and it is safe for them to make that assumption. And as I said, the calling rate is really high after you use up 200 minutes per month. So why would you risk your life by talking about very dangerous things on your cell phone when the calling rates are really high? It's economically nonsense.
So essentially what I'm getting at is that the regime's main concern isn't the fact that people are using like cell phones. They actually encourage that. It's the stuff that they want them to say. That's what they have an issue with if it's not what they want them to say, essentially.
Right. As long as people are like criticizing the local officials, their embezzlements. I don't think that's a big issue for the secret police. But if you talk about your dear leader Kim Jong-un and even criticize him, that's a red line. You don't want to cross the line, and you will be in a big trouble.
Thank you everyone for watching the second episode of Digital Divide. We post on YouTube and all podcasting services monthly. And if you have any comments or specific subject matter that you want covered in the video, please leave a comment below, and we'll see you next month. Bye.
Digital Divide is made possible by the Uni Korea Foundation and the George Washington University Institute for Korean Studies.